In other important news, the leadership of the National Education, Health and Allied Union has embarked on a marathon meeting with management at the South African Bureau of Standards, that's SABS, in a bid to bring an end to a strike at the entity that is now entering day 3. Hundreds of workers downing tools at the company's offices with a demonstration outside that property in Pretoria. The workers belonging to Nehawu embarked on the strike action against the company's payment and employment structure. They're accusing the employer of unilaterally changing the structure. Of course, that means without consultation. Watching those developments is our reporter, Katlego Legodi, who's back at that particular protest and joins us now live. And Katlego, the sense I'm getting is that we're not making any kind of progress as the strike enters day 3.
A very good morning to you, Ayanda. I'm hoping that you can hear me. It's a bit loud where we are right now. This, as we see the workers continuing with their demonstrations on day 3. They're upbeat, not deterred by the no work, no pay principle that we are told has kicked in from as early as Monday when they downed tools. They've been here from as early as 7 a.m. to continue with the demonstrations. But what's different today, Ayanda, is the fact that their leadership, the leadership of Nehawu, is behind us, behind closed doors, just continuing with management on engagements just to ensure that they bridge this impasse, and we see workers returning to their posts. These workers have been waiting here, singing, waiting with bated breath, because you can imagine that most of them don't take kind to being out here demonstrating when they should be on their duties. But also what we hear as well is that there's been an impact already, Ayanda. A communication sent out to say that there have been disruptions to services that the SABS is conduct, especially at these laboratories across the country. So the workers are expecting a fruitful response from their leaders and saying that they're not going to accept anything that is outside of what they've called for, this being just to revisit this restructuring process that has happened here. They want the employer to also consult with them if there are any material changes that are going to affect them in the company. I'm going to bring into the conversation one of the workers who will join us. We've been waiting here since Monday, I must say, just for the employer to come to the party, and we see continuing with demonstrations on day 3, expecting a fruitful response, I guess, from the leaders that are inside. Maybe give us a sense of your expectations as the workers, as we see you demonstrating here.
Well, as workers, we're expecting for a leadership to finish within an hour, but it looks like it's more than an hour now, and we're hoping that wherever that the management they are talking sense to our leaders and to make sure that they give us what we are requesting for, because the intention is that they want to take our benefits, and we are disputing that totally, that we cannot allow that to happen. And we are still expecting that the graduates that they were employed below the minimum wage, they must be brought before the expected salary scale. Yes.
And we know that this company has been, or entity has been going through the most. In 2018, it was placed under administration, and you guys are saying as the workers that since then there hasn't been any stability here, especially at management level. What are you worried about? What has been happening here?
Well, the worry that we have is that we have never had any CEO since 2018. At this current moment, we had a CEO that was acted some time, then there was took over of the administration. Then they came back before the board. They elected some leaders to lead within the organization, which they created the position for themselves, which they were not existing in the structure of the organization. But at this current moment, we have not even have a permanent CEO. And we are hoping that even those ones that are the shareholders will take this thing into consideration to make sure that they employ a CEO that will be able to give the organization direction. Because at this current moment, with what is happening, unfortunately, we cannot claim that there is a progress in whatever that is happening within the organization.
We hear most of you even calling for the new minister of DTIC to intervene here, to try by all means to bring the employer to the table to discuss and negotiate with you and refrain from this unilateral implementation of the changes. Is that your thinking as the workers? Would you like to see this escalated if indeed you're not getting joy from the employer?
Yeah, actually, it was a lack of oversight from the previous minister, because he looked like he didn't have any interest in the organization. But we are hoping that with the current minister, he will be able to come into power and then to assist the organization between the workers and the management to come to closure, so that we are able to service our clients and every day when we come to work, we are able to deliver on what is required of the organization to deliver.
And just before we let you go, if you don't get a fruitful response from inside, where to? Are you guys continuing with demonstrations? Can we expect to see you guys back here tomorrow? If indeed, then we don't see the employer coming through with a fruitful response.
Correct. You'll find us here even tomorrow because the leadership, they get mandate from the workers. As workers, we will always look what the employer has offered. If they have not offered what we were expecting, then which means we will continue with our strike. But we must take into consideration that if the management, they don't want to move, they are actually hammering the organization. They must assist us to make sure that we come closer to each other so that we are able to go back and work and deliver to our workers, to our clients. Yes.
Mokotedi, thank you very much, sir, for giving us your time. There is an employee from the SABS. I'm going to ask Sia to show you what is happening behind us. These are the workers of the SABS. They are not on their duties. And as I told you, Ayanda, earlier on, that we are told that this is already impacting services at some of these laboratories. They do quality control, they do certification, and we see them saying that the quality of goods and foods, some of those are really not in any way being checked and tested, because those people that are supposed to be doing this testing are here demonstrating outside. So yeah, it's a waiting game. We'll bring you the latest in terms of what we can expect from the leaders that are behind us inside, and they're going to be giving feedback as well this afternoon to the workers of whether they are continuing with the strike action or they'll have to return to their duties because they found each other with the employer. Ayanda, it's back to you in studio.
All right, we look forward to those updates. Katlego Legodi is live to us there from Pretoria as we continue watching that story continue to unfold.